Okay, another one. This is similar to the last question we did on part one of this, kind of answering the comment section.
Right.
Person says, I have surgery in my back, L3 burst, fusion surgery, and L2, L5, two surgeries in my feet, fusion surgery in my heel. I'm 52 years old. I was denied 2 times. Very, I don't want to say pessimistic, but very like, what the heck? Why would they? I have all this going on. I'm 52.
Right.
I'm disabled. They denied me. And it's another one of those where it's like, yeah, I wish it surprised us. I wish we say that never happens, but it doesn't at all.
See
It's,
it all the time.
yeah. And you
Yeah.
got to file the appeals and you got to take it to the hearing level. And then if the judge makes a horrible decision, you got to take it to the appeals
That's
council. Just
right.
keep going.
That's right. If they tell you no, you just keep on going. The thing is 50 is the magic age, and we've talked about this in other videos. If you are 49 and younger, so basically 18, the date that Social Security considers you an adult,
Yeah.
up to 49, you literally have to prove to Social Security that you can't do any type of work in the national economy. And I mean any type of work, like a telemarketer, sit down in air conditioning all day long. You don't have to do really much thinking at all. You're reading from a script. You're not lifting or carrying anything. In fact, you're not even lifting a phone because you got a headset clipped on, and your job is to push a button when the call comes in. Hi, my name's Carl. Thanks for calling about the widget. The widget is the best product on earth. It's better than sliced bread. It can do this and it can do that and da 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 da. Would you like to buy a widget? Because I can transfer you to a salesman if that's the case. Oh no, okay. Well, you're not interested, but thank you for calling anyway, and have a great day. That's your job. Or are you interested in hearing more from a salesman? Okay, I'll transfer you to a salesman. That's your job. I have to prove you can't do that if you're 49 and younger. However, when you hit 50, it becomes easier because I don't have to prove that you can't do anything. I only have to prove that you're limited to a sit down type job and you can't do the past work that you did. So for this 52-year-old, if you had a sedentary job, which is what I do, it's a desk job.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a sedentary job and you're 52, it's going to be real hard to win that disability case because you could probably do your past work in the eyes of Social Security.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, everything changes. And when you hit 55, now I only have to prove that you're limited to light work unless you've done light work or sedentary work, like a cashier or a desk job. And then it gets even easier when you hit 60. Every 5 years, it gets easier. Those are called the grids. But it's, the remedy is always going to be the same. And we've said it several times
Keep
already,
going.
which is, that's right, keep going. Don't let no be no. Make sure that to you, no just means you haven't convinced them yet.
Yeah. Another thing that I see a lot, I talk to a lot of clients that they say they've been denied several times, but they haven't filed appeals. I do want to say that as well. If you've been denied, you should really file the appeal. And then if you're denied a second time, file the next appeal. If you wait to file, you get denied, you don't appeal, then you file a new claim. You can do it that way. A lot of people do it that way. We can still win the case. But one, you could be missing out on back pay. Your past due benefits could be less. And then also you're not utilizing the entire process. The entire process is supposed to be it gets to the hearing level, and that's a big deal. You get to verbally testify that
It's
you're unable to work.
exactly, it's sequential.
Uh-huh.
And if you apply and you get denied and then you just let it ride, for a few months, the deadline is almost always 60 days in Social Security. So if you don't appeal that within the 60 days of your denial, well, guess what? You start all over.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're filing an appeal. You're just doing it, 6 months after you were denied, because you can't do that. You have to file it within that time frame, and that is, like you said, that's the process, and it's a sequential thing. So there are people, and you see their case filed, and they filed in this year, and then they filed, a couple times in the next year, but they're always initial filings. There's never a reconsideration, which is your first appeal. There's never a request for a hearing, which is your
Yep.
second appeal. They didn't follow the sequential part of it. They just kind of, okay, well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to appeal it. I'll just file again later. Horrible decision. Like
Yes.
you said, you're going to miss out on, may miss, it's not that you may miss out on money. You're going to miss out on money by
Yeah.
doing that. It's meant to be sequential. If you disagree with Social Security, file the appeal. They're not horrible. With a representative, we file the appeal.
Yeah.
It's
And we don't blink. When you get denied, we don't blink. We just file the appeal.
that's
It's
right.
like, yeah, we were
It is.
unfortunately, we were kind of expecting that just because the
Unfortunately.
way that the system works. Yeah.
That's right.
If you have a question about your disability case, give us a call at 615-453-9151 Monday through Friday, or click the link in the description of this video.